first chest train after competition.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Vintage Genetics, where it is all about classic bodybuilding. And as I just said, this is the first chest workout after the competition. And this is quite an important week. Well, basically the 2 weeks after a deep competition cut are most important in terms of rebound. With the rebound, you can gain a lot of strength and size in a short period of time if you make good use of it. I'll make a different video about this, but it's basically about upping your calories, carbs and fats healthy-wise and actually performing every exercise strength-wise right after the competition, so you will actually gain quality muscle as fast as possible, because your body is very receptive to growing right now. And I missed this exercise. It's been probably over 2 weeks since I've done the bench press, and I did not work out for about, well, 8 days at all, 7 to 8 days. So I had a lot of rest basically. So as you can see right here, the weight is still going up pretty easy, considering it was a long time ago that I did the bench press at all. So you would expect to become a little weaker, but I actually increased in strength, as you will see in just a minute. So during the previous set that you just saw, I could do it 10 times, but it did feel on the heavy side. But after that, I did 3 plates of 20, which went pretty easily for 10 times. So I decided to add another 5 kilos. So up to 150 kilos here. And, you know, it's going pretty smoothly. And I did not expect that. But it just goes to show that when you take a couple of rest days after having trained hardcore for weeks, your strength will increase, your body will have time to reset, to heal, to cleanse, and you will come back stronger than ever. And by the way, we will be training in this gym from now on at least 49 out of 50 times we will be at this gym. This gym has everything. I have been helped tremendously. This is a gym where I started out at 7 years. From 14 to 21 I trained in this gym. I always liked it. Then we moved houses, so that we moved gyms, but you know, in the end, this is the gym where it's all about. And now it is time for the old school incline bench press. Quite a wide grip and going all the way down to the upper chest. You want to let the bar drop to the muscle, to the part of the pecs that you want to train. So let it drop right under your chin. Have a fairly wide grip like Arnold Schwarzenegger had. And then you can literally feel the upper pecs stretch and contract more than the rest of the pecs. You just gotta find that perfect angle for you, but trust me, when you find it, you will feel it, and the muscle ache will prove that you worked it correctly. I will make a separate video about this, but one of my weak points that I want to work on is my upper chest. Despite having a different kind of side chest pose compared to the other competitors, it does mean that my chest needs to grow to really stand up with that pose. You know, you gotta have a big chest if you want to perform the Arnold Schwarzenegger side chest. So what I'm lacking is the upper chest. And that's what I'm working right here. Again, just like the incline bench press, I'm letting basically these handles go towards my upper pecs and really squeeze when I push all the way out. And this is the important part of this exercise. This changes it from a regular chest press to actually an exercise that targets the upper pecs specifically. And you can go pretty heavy on this, but you also must remember that you have to stretch the chest at all times. The bigger the stretch, the stronger the contraction and the more blood flow is in your muscles, and eventually the more your muscle will grow. And of course, during the chest workout, the first chest workout after the competition, we absolutely cannot leave out the dumbbell flies, the classic flat dumbbell flies for the stretch of the pecs, Arnold style. This is the basic exercise that you should always do if you want to improve, first of all, mind-muscle connection to your chest, but also if you simply want to stretch the chest fibers out and get more blood into the chest for an amazing pump. As you can see, I look quite a lot fuller than on competition day itself, because there's always a balance. When on competition day you can either look full but less cut, or as full as you can with a good loading process but much more cut. And at an international competition like the Arnold Classic, you cannot sacrifice conditioning for fullness. Now, obviously there are ways to have both at the same time, but as we all know, that requires things that a classic bodybuilder should not do. So, this is part of the rebound. Your body has been dieting for months, and now it is basically attracting all the nutrients it can, especially water weight, and that's why I look fuller. Every single carb you take in right now will attract 3 grams of water weight into the muscles, but also under the skin. And together, this will make your muscles look fuller and bigger, and you will be stronger, especially the first 2 weeks after the competition if you do everything right. And that's why I'm gonna make a video about this for people who are interested in the rebound after competition. I have experienced it 3 times now, and every time it has worked like a charm.
Yeah, papa. Dumbbell pullover. I missed this one, man. I missed this one. Arnold.
Oh yes, I missed this one. This is, to me, one of my favorite exercises to work the chest and the back. If you guys have seen my competition videos and competition pictures, you did see that I was one of the few guys with the serratus muscle, which you work during the dumbbell pullover. It was more developed compared to the rest of the field. That's just an objective observation, but it is important to observe that, because then you know that an exercise like this actually does what you think it does. That is work the serratus muscle, but today we're focusing on the chest, and you can see me contracting the chest at all times, making sure to go down as far as I can, stretching the chest fibers, and then going up and contract the chest as hard as I can as well. If you're having trouble contracting the chest during this exercise, I recommend pushing your elbows together as you're doing the movement. And when you want to do the dumbbell pullover for back, you pull apart, you push apart your elbows. If you then you stretch the back more easily. But if you still have trouble doing that, you should do the cable pullover with either a bar or a rope. Then it is much easier to actually hold on to the tension in the muscle instead of using mind-muscle connection to work the muscle. And like the good old days, we combine the side lateral raise, or we combine working the side delts with the chest. Just one exercise of 4 sets, just getting the blood in there, because when you work your chest, you also work the front delts, but also the side delts a little bit. And I want to make use of that by finishing off the side delts by just doing a single, very efficient and effective exercise. And to me, the very best for the side delts is the side lateral dumbbell raise. It's important to have constant tension on the side delts during this exercise, so don't go all the way down and don't go all the way up, because then you shift the tension from the side delts to the traps, and you really want to target just those little side delt muscles, so you don't need to use a lot of weight, just focus on the mind-muscle connection. And this is the skull crusher, but I decided to do an incline, and to me this feels a lot more comfortable for the elbows. After so many days of not working out, I'm not having any injury, not having any pain at all, but I don't want to risk anything, so I'm doing it like this. The downfall of this exercise is that you cannot go down as deep as a flat skull crusher, but you still have the same amount of tension on the triceps without actually having an annoying pain in the elbows if you have that problem. So what this exercise does is it works both the long head of the triceps and the medial head. And these two heads combined, they are actually the mass of your arm. The triceps are about 75% of the width, the girth of your upper arm, and the biceps are only 25%, and the long head and the medial head are the biggest heads of your triceps. So if you get those to be big, you get the tricep sweep at the bottom, and they will make your arms appear a lot bigger, which is also one of my weak points that I want to work on very, very hard. And this is a tricep bar push down, and this one is mainly for the medial head, because it kind of feels like a pressing movement, but it's also for the small head of the tricep, which is on the side, as you can see. It also contracts. Well, in reality, every head of the triceps always work together, but you can emphasize which part of the tricep you want to work more by doing a different angle, a different exercise, a different execution. And that's why you do different exercises, to hit a different part of the triceps just a little more than the other. So this one is for the medial head and the small head more, even the long head a little bit if you stretch it out at the top. But yeah, this is where we create the mass. You can go pretty heavy on this one. We, at the end, did the entire stack with good form, and that is what builds quality, strength, and muscle. So this is the rope push down, the finishing movement for the triceps we're doing today. 7 plus 7 reps. The first 7 reps are regular reps, mostly for the small head of the tricep, which is on the side of your arm, making your arm look thicker from the front. And this version is you bend forward, you bend over a little bit, and that targets the long head and the medial head a little more as you turn it into a pressing movement instead of a movement pushing downwards. So this was the workout basically. We worked out the chest, we worked out a little side delts, which is enough for me personally to develop them in accordance to the proportions of my body, and we did triceps. And I really want to make use of this rebound, so I will show you my diet very soon in one of the next videos, and I will talk about the rebound, what it is, why it's there, and how you can make use of it after you've done a competition or a very long cut. I will upload the last day of the Arnold Classic Europe journey very soon. It's already in the makes, but I wanted to show you this workout to show you that I'm already back on track, fixing my weak points, strengthening my strong points, and simply having fun in the gym. And this is a shortened version of my posing routine, which is pretty much engraved in my brain. Anyway guys, I want to thank you for watching. Thanks for your support, all your likes, your comments, your subscriptions. Thanks a lot, and don't forget to stay golden. Increased in strength, as you will see in just a minute. So during the previous set that you just saw, I could do it as fast as possible because your body is very receptive to growing right now. And I missed this exercise. It's been probably over 2 weeks since I've done the bench press, and I did not work out for about, well, 8 days at all, 7 to 8 days. So I had a lot of rest basically. So as you can see right here, the weight is still going up pretty easy, considering it was a long time ago that I did the bench press at all. So you would expect to become a little weaker, but I actually increased.
Do it. First week, first chest train after competition.
What's up guys, welcome to Vintage Genetics, where it is all about classic bodybuilding. And as I just said, this is the first chest workout after the competition. And this is quite an important week, well basically the 2 weeks after a deep competition cut are most important in terms of rebound. With the rebound, you can gain a lot of strength and size in a short period of time if you make good use of it. I'll make a different video about this, but it's basically about upping your calories, carbs and fats healthy-wise and actually performing every exercise strength-wise right after the competition, so you will actually gain quality muscle as fat 10 times, but it did feel on the heavy side. But after that I did 3 plates of 20, which went pretty easily for 10 times, so I decided to add another 5 kilos, so up to 150 kilos here, and you know, it's going pretty smoothly, and I did not expect that. But it just goes to show that when you take a couple of rest days after having trained hardcore for weeks, your strength will increase, your body will have time to reset,